Okay, so now we want to take a look at advanced modeling. So we've looked at modeling, but it was more like putting objects together to make other objects. And with advanced modeling, we can actually look at segments a little bit more. And also we're going to take a look at some subdivision surfaces and hypernurbs. These controls over on the left-hand side of the screen, we haven't taken a look at, but we have the option of converting objects into their individual segments. And then we can control the points. We can control the line segments. We can also control the surfaces. So that's what we want to take a look at next. So to start off with, just want to identify and show you this first option, the subdivision surface, will take an object that has flat edges and smooth it out. And that is highly dependent upon the number of surfaces. So for example, I'm going to just add the subdivision surface to the objects panel. And then if I add a cube and I were to put the cube into the subdivision surfaces, you can see what happens here. It essentially just becomes a sphere. So what's happening is it's taking those single segments and it's wrapping them and it's making them a lot smoother. In this case, making them so smooth that they eventually just become a sphere. If you look at the individual views, you can see that they're all the same. And these are the original four sides of that cube, but they've all been curved based on that subdivision surface. So I'm going to back out, undo that, and that's not that useful to us. So let's say that we wanted to create a more pliable shape, or we wanted to model specific things that aren't as flat, or that have rounded edges, and maybe that have bumps and corners and things like that. So what we need to do is we need to increase the number of segments. So right now I have only one segment. I'm going to just increase it to 3. And right now we can't see the segments themselves until you go to Display, Gorad Shading, Lines, and now you can actually see the segments. So with the segments in place now, if I were to take the cube and put it into the Hypernurb, you can see that it smoothed it out, but it didn't make it into a sphere because we have more segments to deal with now. So in this view, this cube now is a lot smoother, and when we render this, you'll see that the edges, it looks kind of like a gum shape or something like that, right? So what can we do with this further? So let me zoom in here and show you. Right now we have the cube selected in the objects panel, which is really important. What we want to do is we want to convert it so that we can make it editable. So I'm going to click this option right here to make it editable. And now to make it editable, we need to either work with points, the edges, or the surfaces or the polygons. So if I click surfaces or the polygons, you see that as I hover over, it's giving me these grids, and these grids on the individual segments. So each one of these areas that's being highlighted is a segment. And the reason for that is because of the subdivision surface settings. I'll show you that in a second. But if I were to click on one of these and I were to drag or move them, see how we can model and shape this, what used to be a cube, and now we can make it softer and we can make the edges look different. If I want to grab multiple edges, I can hold down the shift key, grab multiple edges, pull on that, and now I have a totally different shape, right? And do something similar on this side, pull that in. Right? So we can really customize this and make it however we want to. So for edges, if I grab the edge option, let's say that I grab just this edge and maybe this edge, and if I start manipulating that, so that I can create this bulge, or if I can create this indent on that. And then finally, with the points, you can select one point or multiple points. Now here I'm trying to select this point and my axis is in the way. So to temporarily hide it, I'm going to hold down Option and hit D, and that's going to temporarily hide it. Then we're going to shift select that point, hit Option D to bring back, and then I can pull up on this to make it higher. and even pull it forward or backward. Really, really kind of like working with clay now with these models. So we're going to explore a little bit more what we can do with this in the next video, but for now I just want to show you the basics of this and where to start off. If we need to get back to get out of the editing mode, you just click this option, and now you're no longer in editing mode, and then you can move the actual object just like it was before. Okay.